constituents. I mean 10-gallon hats, and by 10-gallon hats, I mean those who seek to shelter their words behind the race of their pastors in hopes of making amends with their God. And by pastors, I mean tall gentlemen with something to give you, and by tall, I really mean eloquent, and by eloquent, I mean well-versed in matters of diplomacy and stationery and accessories of indigenous peoples, whatever that means. And by accessories, I mean the very boils, bruises, scars, and disfigurements on the visible parts of your body that made you different in grammar school, but are fine once you learn you had interest in filmmaking and could afford your first flight in Brooklyn. And by Brooklyn, I mean Sydney, because they have their population under control, and there's respect for one another. No! There's a situation we're not addressing here. My opponent will not address it because he is afraid and fears the default state of those who seek to poison your brother against his brother. There's a way to solve this judiciously viscous predicament, but I need your help. And by help, I mean your promise, your dear, hand-to-heart pledge to assassinate the character of every well-born or haplessly indigent brother Peter, fox-trapper, stowaway, gandy dancer, salt-mining laborer who muscles the righteous. I said muscles the righteous out of their homes. And by homes, I mean professions. And by professions, I mean, of course, the act of transplantation, exploitation, elevation, reforestation, urbanization, overpopulation, standard deviation, committed by the Haitians and Croatians, who invasion this gas station nation with the aspiration to lay station in poor little turkey scratch Arkansas. Yes! Fucking Arkansas! And by nations, I mean more generally those in guns and armies unafraid to sacrifice by the millions and millions if it means to scorn human war, corn-picking, sweat-shopping day in this great and noble country, beacon of sister liberty to reach Johnny Everyman, Fanny Freedom, and Nancy not in my backyard, that it is. And by freedom, I mean the freedom to be left alone. And by alone, I mean with my friends. And by friends, I mean you, my constituents. And by constituents, I mean 10-gallon hats. And by 10-gallon hats, I mean the fair-faced little Justins and Kellys waiting to grow up and become the heroes and soul singers this country needs to advance our golden territory to the very heliopause. And by Kelly, I mean Donna. And by Donna, I mean sharpshooting Hubert, waiting at the border, waiting on the red pan. Gotta take justice into his own hand, into his own hand. And by sharpshooting, I'm actually implying legislating. What is the alternative, I ask? Do we just have a blind eye anarchy here? Whose side are you on? The Swedes? Do we just take every nanny no-job and daddy Denmark that comes begging to be my bartender? No! My drinks are mixed with American hands! And by drinks, I mean schools and school proms, the board of electorates, the police departments of all cities, major and minor. For what is a minor city in a nation as optimistic as we? The coat checkers, the House of Representatives, the books, the bands, the salads, the chefs, and even the hat makers, for they are the righteous. They are the sons of Miles Davis and George Washington and our patriots. And by patriots, I mean obstetricians who guide us in our waiting years and the waxing years of our spawn to great, great victory, victory, And by spawn, I mean kind words for Shallow Brown and all his Benjamins and his intrepid band. We may lay waste to the Saxon hardware, and I go home to claim my sheep for a wife, and I can't, because there is no patronage freedom, and I'm ordered by my own hand for the pleasures and transgressions I commit with the shiny apples of my choosing. And by Benjamins, I mean, of course, the dollars, not the persons by that name. And by dollars, I mean the mean, clean greenbacks that make this country strong. I am not sarcastic, I am not anti-capitalist, but I do see the need to limit the unruly influx of free and cheap labor, because at my core, I'm a man of principles, and of chariots, and of charters, of seas, four seasons, and love, of kindness, of loving kindness, of loving kindness that you have bestowed on me. So, thank you, LA, thank you, NY, thank you, New Orleans, thank you, El Paso, thank you, Detroit, thank you, El Paso, and Turkey Scratch, Arkansas. This victory is for you. Walls, walls, walls. I must construct walls because you tell me to, because you bid me to make a castle of this keep, and to make a nation of this castle, and to make a world of this nation, and to make existence